well, after all of that, a lead of 129 is probably pretty good news, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in the end we'd be pretty happy with runs on the board on that pitch. I think is the most important thing. I thought at lunchtime when we were 4 down, we thought 90 odd for 3. We were in quite a decent position first session, but the ball just kept doing something all day. We bowled poorly the first, and the lads were joking that in the power play we bowled poorly. That's what it felt like, didn't it? I mean, it felt like it's been up to just after tea. It felt like it was a highlights package all day that we were watching. We didn't bowl very well with the new ball. Huntey bowled well. Oliver didn't get the ball in the right place. He bowled too straight at the left-handers and went for 30 odd off his first 3 overs, and then obviously came back second spell 4 for 8 off 5 overs and showed his class and got us right back in the game. So a lead of 47-48 was handy, and then the way that Tom Haynes played was absolutely top class, and Allsop exactly the same. So yeah, I think we're 129 in front. I think we would say we've come out of the first day in the best position, really.
And potentially the differentiator in the first innings was the catching. I mean, your catching was absolutely magnificent, wasn't it? I think it was 9 catches and a lot of them were absolutely top draw. Yeah,
I thought we caught really well behind the wickets. The slips caught very well, but there are a couple of good catches in front as well. And that's probably the difference. We said if Northants had caught as well as they should have done and could have done, probably would have bowled us out for 90. We let them, as I say, we let them get to 30 or 40 to start with. I said at the tea interval we gave them 40 runs in that session before tea. We were going at 8.5 and over at one point. And then after tea, so much better. We got the ball in the right place. But our catching was the thing that actually kept us in the game when they were scoring runs quickly. It was actually our catching that kept us in the game. So that's a really pleasing part of it. And we know that we'll have to catch well on the second innings as well to make sure that we keep driving the game forwards.
And the lads at the end there in the last hour, were they just batting very well, or was it flattening out, or the bowlers putting a bit less into it? Because you coped well, didn't you, in that second innings? So that's batted well there.
Yeah, I think we batted very well, and I think I think probably it was quite tough for them in the sense that they bowled us out, they think that's it, job done, put your feet up, and then they've got to bowl again before the day's out, and they just looked like they lost a bit of their edge. We felt that Northants probably in the morning session bowled a little bit short, and you look at the ball marks on the pitch, and then after lunch they bowled a much better length and obviously took 6 wickets for about 50 runs probably, and it was similar to us. We didn't quite get the ball in the right place to start with, and we've got the ball in the right place. McAndrew came on and bowled that fuller length and almost kissed the pitch, but definitely the catching has been the difference between the two sides on the first day, I reckon.
And the pitch, you went out there at tea to have a close look at it, and I was trying to work out from up there what was going on with it. It's got a bit in it, has it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I had a look at lunch and tea time, just out of interest to see what sort of, because the lads talked about ball marks, and you could see the difference. At lunchtime, the ball marks were very much in the middle of the pitch, which suggested they bowled a bit too short, and then at tea time, the ball marks were a lot fuller. And I think if you keep the stumps in the game, as I think both teams have shown, when you get the ball on and around the stumps, you're in the game the whole time. There's enough happening. I don't think it's flattened out. I think there's still plenty happening. It could be set for an interesting day tomorrow.
And that is my last question. The approach tomorrow, because there's an argument that, and we saw it a couple of times today, that you go super positive or a bit more workmanlike and grafting it out with great discipline that we also saw that work. So you've got a conundrum there.
Well, what we've said all day to our batters, and certainly from lunchtime onwards, is you need to bat how you feel that you're like to score runs on that pitch. So if you take the Jack Carson approach, which is super positive, or you take the Tom Allsop approach, he got caught behind down the leg side in the first innings, but he has played very straight. He's looked to line the ball up nicely. He's let the ball come to him. Hughes obviously used his feet a lot more to the seamers. Haynes played brilliantly there. Haynes played exceptionally, played the way Haynes can play, but also played his own way. And I think that's the important thing. There's no point saying everyone has to play the same way. It's what suits you to play the way that you think gives you the best chance of scoring runs. And it isn't, I don't think it's a shocking pitch by any means. I don't think it's one of those where you think, I've got to swing and try and get 20 before the ball gets me out. I think if you bat properly on it, you can bat on it, but it is tough. It is tough. But, when you get the ball in the right place and the slips are catching well, then you've got a chance of taking wickets.